Hey guys, welcome back. This is Tiana at Worth a Read 1111. Thank you so much for tuning in for another reading with me. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been so exciting and humbling to watch how the channel is growing, to hear all of your feedback, all of your comments. It's been really fun for me, and just letting me know that I'm definitely on the right path with doing what I'm doing. So thank you for that. Today I wanted to do a pick a card reading to look at what downloads your person is receiving about you and the connection at this time. And the reason why I want to do that is because there's been a lot of energy going on around the planet, astrologically, spiritually, emotionally, the past few weeks, particularly since we've shifted into 2019. We have a lot of planets, all of the planets right now direct at this time. So we're in this abundant energy of manifesting and bringing things into fruition. But it's also meant that we've had to clear out so much about things that we've learned that no longer serve us, our behaviors, our repetitive patterning, our automatic subconscious programming. And so with that has come a lot of knowledge and wisdom. And particularly if you're not in communication with your person right now, many people who I've been working with and myself have been feeling this energetically, intuitively, emotionally, feeling that there are big shifts taking place within the connection, even though we can't see it in the 3D. So take a moment and tune in. I've laid out 3 Lovers Oracle cards to represent your options. So we have number 1, number 2, and number 3. So take a moment, take a deep breath, just really get grounded and centered. Look at which one of these are calling out to you the most at this time. Connect with that one. You can choose more than one. There is no right or wrong. Whichever one speaks to you is for you, and we'll get started. So for those of you that chose number 1, at the heart of the downloads being received by your person at this time is healing. It says, imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. So you may be sensing that your person is learning a lot of lessons at this time. You may be sensing that they are coming to a deeper understanding around their part in the connection and everything that occurred or took place. And you may also be sensing that, the energy is lightening up, like they are moving into more of a place of forgiveness. So let's pull some additional cards to look at exactly what downloads, messages, lessons they are receiving around you and the connection at this time. So right now I'm pulling from the Psychic Tarot to look at what the biggest lesson is that they have received around this connection over the past few weeks. Crown chakra. So they've been really in touch with spirit at this time. They are learning to tune in a way that they never have before. You may be feeling them telepathically a lot at this time. You may be communicating with them in that way. With the twin flame dynamic in particular, you go through these ebbs and flows where sometimes you're really in tune, really connected to the person. Other times you're not. And that's, intentional by the divine, because if we were connected all the time so intensely, that could be overwhelming. But I'm sensing that you and this person have been very much in tune the past couple of weeks. It may actually be driving you a little bit crazy. So this is confirmation that what you're feeling, they're feeling too. And so let's look at what's actually coming through to them at this time as they're tuning in. Okay, so we have Four of Pentacles and we have Six of Wands. So what this is saying to me is, you know, Spirit is working with them to loosen up a bit around this connection. They may have been really closed off, shut down, not wanting to not just not communicate, but not even think about this connection. They may have been shutting it out energetically. And I'm sensing that Spirit is working with them to change that, to really open them up to facing their anxiety and their fears that have caused them to shut down, you know, where they were once closed off. They're now opening up and allowing themselves to, you know, look at things from a more spiritual, open perspective. And the reason why I feel like that, because with the Four of Wands, or I'm sorry, with the Four of Pentacles, typically it's about, you know, being closed off. It's about, you know, controlling energy, controlling your thoughts, controlling your connections, controlling your feelings. But I feel like what has happened recently, they've been unable to do that. They've been forced to look at the connection and everything within it, and that's caused them to come to a new state of awareness, right? Like they've been forced to come to this new state of awareness. And with the Six of Wands, what they're understanding is, you know, it's not all about them, and it's not all about you. It's about, you know, this. It's about healing everything within themselves, healing the connection for the highest good, you know, that it's bigger than just this 3D relationship and, you know, everything that occurred in it. So I'm hearing that they are getting more focused on, you know, the spiritual connection between you and what that really means in terms of mission and purpose and moving forward. And I'm hearing, you know, they're letting go of the pain connected to the past, and not just with you, just in their lives in general, that kept them from coming to this understanding sooner, or being willing to come to this understanding sooner. You know, this person is really learning to step outside of themselves and trust Spirit, and not stuff down their emotions or block themselves off to their emotions and their divine intuition. This person is very in tune spiritually, and they had kind of gotten into this habit of shutting that down. I'm hearing that's been a protection mechanism since childhood, and they're moving outside of that, and it's actually what they've gone through in this connection to help them do that. They're understanding now that, you know, their role is so much bigger than themselves and their issues. There's a major maturation here, a maturing, I'm sensing, that is putting them in tune in a way that they've never been before. Okay. And it's helping them to release lower vibrational energy and negative thoughts about themselves. I'm hearing that they've doubted Spirit for a long time. They've, you know, maybe even doubted the existence of God in some way. They've really just they've learned to lean on themselves, and they've had to kind of release this need for that, to be in control of everything, and to think that, you know, the only person they could depend on is themselves. They're allowing themselves to be held up by spirit now, to be supported by spirit now in a way that they weren't open to before. And that's allowing them to release a lot of this codependent nature that they've had in the past, and that they use to cover up negative aspects of themselves. So, you know, this could have been a person who was addicted. I'm hearing addicted to exercising, or addicted to always being busy, addicted to, you know, could be drugs, alcohol, but I'm not feeling that so much. But I'm feeling this person was just addicted to having a sense of control over their environment in some way, and that was to cover up these negative feelings that they had about themselves, like covering up who they really were. And they're no longer doing that. I just had a vision of them, you know, kind of opening up their heart, taking the guard, putting the guards down. And that's come as a result of them opening up to their intuition. This person understands now that their connection to spirit is the most important thing. Yep. And so they've been learning a lot. Something has happened in their world where they've suddenly become really, really clear. Like if they were clear before, they're crystal clear now about how they feel about you. And they may not even know why, but suddenly they are 100% on board with you and this connection. They may not even know why, but suddenly all they know is that this is what they want. You know, the solid foundation, the home, the family, the stability, the security. That's what Ten of Pentacles is all about. And with Eight of Wands being present, it's like that realization just kind of came on all of a sudden out of nowhere. But that's because, you know, they've been opening themselves up to spirit in a way that they hadn't allowed before. And that's because they've been doing this healing work to kind of clear out these lower vibrational patterns. I'm hearing they're finally seeing the light. Like all of a sudden they're seeing the light. Yep, they've cleared out a lot of their inner childhood trauma and issues as a result of being more in tune, as a result of understanding that in order to move forward and have the life that they want, they have to become a co-creator with spirit, something that they may not have been doing before. Yeah, and in doing that, that's opened them up to the fact that they want this true love with you. They want, you know, to have a solid connection with you, that's really what has been the thing that they've been so afraid of. You know, before they weren't clear how it could work out. There may have been some fundamental issues between you guys, the way you know, see things, the way that you see relationships, the way you see, you know, this connection has forced them to change the way that they view relationships, because it's not a traditional, you know, it's not a traditional connection. There's things about it that, you know, make it almost seem impossible, but they've learned that they have been chosen to walk this path through their connection to spirit and open themselves up in a way that is selfless, and they understand now that that's what this connection is about, you know, bringing light and love to the planet and still being able to have what it is you want, you know, still being able to have a family, a home, you know, all the things that, you know, materially you desire. And they've had to shed a lot of their lower vibrational beliefs around what that was supposed to look like. And as a result of doing that, they have received major, major downloads about the fact that what they once thought had to be or had to look a certain way, in fact, is totally like BS. And so they're much more open now to having non-traditional relationship with you. And by non-traditional, I mean unconditional. Before there were all these, you know, rules and restrictions and the way things had to be. They're no longer there anymore. You know, they're being led by spirit in a way, and they're much more open to, you know, the connection however it unfolds. And that's a major step for them, because before they were in this place of needing to control what it was going to look like, how it was going to happen, when it was going to happen. And they've surrendered a lot of that, but it's meant having to shed a lot of their own ego and subconscious programming. And that's taken some work. So, I mean, I feel like this is a good thing here. So let's see what they're being led by spirit to do at this time. So yeah, they're being led to surrender is what I'm hearing, to really just be honest with themselves and accept things for as they are, and to see everything through the eyes of source and through unconditional love. With the acceptance card, it says to see yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. So I feel like this person is also being led down their path. They may not have been clear about what their mission or what their purpose is, and they're more clear about that, and they understand how that relates to this connection. They're also having to be very honest with themselves. It says, look into your heart and you will know the truth of this situation. It's safe to admit the truth to yourself, for we will support and guide you through any necessary changes. I'm hearing they're really, really sorry about how they've behaved in this connection. And they've had to do a lot of work to release the guilt and the shame for, you know, who they were being and who they feel they were not being. It says, lean upon us for courage and the strength to take good care of yourself. Focus only upon your true desires and they'll come to you upon angel wings. So this person is also doing a lot of work to get healthy within themselves. That's why we have this surrender your addictions card, because they may have been in this place of, you know, not allowing healthy thoughts, healthy foods, healthy substances into their minds and bodies as a way to kind of stuff down and keep stuff down their emotions and keep themselves guarded. But in opening up, they're having a desire now to release all of that and to make better choices for themselves. And in doing that, that's totally the result of them just being able to be more honest with themselves about who they really are and why they've allowed these behaviors to continue in their lives for so long, you know. And that's why I think this card is here. I feel like this person is really, really clear now, not just clear, but fearless now in confronting themselves. And that's been the major download for them, is being willing to confront themselves in a way that they hadn't been before. All right, so that's your number one reading. I hope that resonated with you. Make sure that you are hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and sharing the video with anyone who you think this could help. I love you guys so much, and let's move on to number 2. Okay, so if you chose number 2, this is the overall message for your connection. It says, imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. So to me, that says your person, one of the major downloads they're receiving at this time is that they are understanding the way they've been thinking about this connection may have contributed to some unhealthy conditions in the relationship, and that it's going to take a new way of thinking, a new way of being in order for the connection to really flourish. I'm hearing that this person is understanding that their thoughts in general, just overall, needs to be cleaned up, and they have a greater understanding about how their thoughts actually create their reality. So they're trying to move into a space, or they are moving into a space where they're thinking more positively about the connection, which could also suggest that they are doing a lot of work to just heal and move on from anything they were holding on to in the past around how things played out between you. So let's see what the major overall download they've received is. And this is from the Psychic Heart Tarot deck. Okay, so we have joy and stability. Yeah, this person is really having to learn to lean into love when it comes to thinking about this connection. They may not have been letting love lead. They may have been letting their ego lead. They may have been mired down in what they thought couldn't be, you know. They're having to lean more into the happiness of things and the belief that they can have this loving connection, you know, with you. They're having to find joy in place of pain, if that makes sense, because this is like the Four of Wands card in the traditional deck, which is all about renewal, celebrations, happiness, allowing, raising vibration. That's what I'm hearing. They're understanding now that in order for this connection to work out, there needs to be a raising of the vibration in the connection. And they're understanding now how much the law of attraction, how much their thoughts, the laws of frequency play into the quality of their relationships, you know. And so this is actually, I feel like, giving them a new perspective. I feel like this is helping them to open their hearts and minds. I feel like this is encouraging them to want to share how they feel with you. Yeah, and I just feel like overall the biggest download has been, you know, understanding that they need to raise their vibration in this connection, and they either have or are working towards making that happen. So let's pull some clarifiers to see exactly, you know, what this means in terms of what they're learning or have learned. the message that Spirit keeps sending me is let love lead. They're understanding they're going to have to get out of their head and their ego around this. Yep. That's too many. I don't want that many. Let's see. But I did see the Ten of Cups there. So to me, that suggests emotional healing, emotional contentment, you know, understanding that no matter what takes place, we have to remain or have this commitment to remaining in a place of love, you know, in a place of joy. That's what grounds us. That's what creates the stability. It's when we move from that place that we're not able to work things out or move past, you know, our conflicts with one another. When we stay in a place of love and joy, that's when we're able to move through anything. So we have Queen of Pentacles. Man, these cards are just jumping out, jumping out. Okay, one more card. 1 to 2 more cards, Spirit. Okay, all right. Okay. We have the Hermit. One more card. Okay. That was 2. Give me 1, Spirit. One more card. One more card to kind of put this story into perspective. Okay. Yep. They've had to go within to find that nurturing place within themselves. They've had to put a lot of thought into who they were being in the connection. They feel a lot of love toward you, but it has been difficult for them to express it in a way that was loving and joyful and lighthearted. I'm hearing that this person by default operates in a place of heavy-heartedness. Even though they're a very loving person, it was kind of covered up. And they were afraid to let that lighthearted energy out. They had become accustomed to kind of keeping their emotions to themselves, but they've had to walk away from that. That wasn't serving this connection. And the breakup of this relationship kind of sobered them to that fact, and caused them to really go within and look at themselves and, you know, kind of get clear on the fact that, hey, I really am this loving, nurturing person. So why is that not coming through in my connection? Like where am I? Because I feel like this person too, they don't have a problem looking at themselves. Like they don't have a problem with self-examination. That's why we have the Hermit here. And in fact, they may do so to a fault at times. But they're really clear about the fact that they carry all of this love within themselves. And they figured out that it's the fears and the insecurities and the negative thinking that has kept them in this place of really expressing that in this connection. And they want to express it now. So let's look at what they've had to release to get to this place. Look at that. They've had to surrender stubbornness, and they've had to surrender to complete healing. They had to clear out these negative thought patterns that were controlling the way that they showed up in their relationship. They've had to really understand that, you know, the universe has their back and they are safe. And there's no, you know, there's no guarantees in love. A lot of the times we don't want to surrender or not surrender. We don't want to reveal who we really are until we, you know 100%, or, oh, it's going to happen like this, or, you know, if I do this, they're going to respond like that. You can never know that. So this person has really had to learn how to trust that by being authentic, putting themselves out there, that, you know, spirit had their back, like nothing was going to hurt or harm them. And to do that, they've had to do a lot of healing within themselves. And so they've surrendered to that process. And that's why they are now at this place of understanding and wanting to express, you know, the love and light that really lives in them and really is at the heart of who they were. And for a long time, they were really stubborn around that. You know, like, I'm hearing this person, like, the thought of being vulnerable and like really sharing their innermost thoughts and feelings with you, like, they wanted to run away from that. That like made them like tense up and not communicate authentically as a result. So this card says, if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. So what I'm hearing is they've learned to identify what those triggers are. They've learned to become more aware of what it is that creates this tenseness, this resistance. That's the word. What it is that actually creates the resistance, and then has them, you know, putting these blocks up. So they're working through that. They're working through allowing that resistance to put up walls between them and other people. And I feel like what really opened their eyes to that is the walls that were put up in this relationship, because I feel like someone definitely walked away in this connection because of that resistance, because this person just was so much inside of their shell, they just wouldn't open up. So let's look at the downloads they are receiving about the connection in terms of the romance behind it. This is the romance angel cards. You know, and this will give us insight into exactly where they are in terms of wanting to be with you. Okay, so they definitely still are feeling, you know, the passion. They definitely are still feeling the romantic connection. And they definitely want to communicate. Yeah, that's what I said. This will help them release a lot of the tension in their bodies that they've been carrying around, not having been fully forthcoming with you. They want to share this new clarity that they have. They want to be more open. They want to express to you exactly what it is they feel. I'm hearing what it is they see in you. I feel like they've never been that open with you before, and it's kept them imprisoned. It's kept them feeling like they can't move forward. You know, sometimes, like, particularly when you've healed and you have come to a new understanding within yourself, it becomes really clear that not necessarily like there's apologies that need to be extended, and that could be the case, but there's just energy that needs to be cleared. And sometimes the only way that energy can be cleared is through having a conversation. And because that came out, I just want to pull a couple cards from the Talk to Me Like I'm Someone You Love deck to see what it is they really want to say to you at this time. I'm just curious. Okay, so they may be a little hesitant to come forward, and that might be why they haven't, but they're sorry. You know, it's as simple as that. They're sorry for the way that they treated you, and they want you to know that. With this card, I'm hearing that it's difficult for them to express themselves. It can be difficult, and that, you know, probably has to do with a lot of things they've experienced in the past, their family lives, other relationships. Maybe it wasn't safe for them, or they felt it wasn't safe, or they received a negative response when they try to express how they feel. But even though they want you to know that. They want you to know, hey, it's not that I don't want to talk to you or I don't value you enough to communicate with you authentically in this relationship, but I'm really afraid to do so. And, you know, being able to, it takes a lot to be able to really admit that, to just say, hey, I'm afraid. I don't know what to say. But I am sorry. So let's get one more card from this deck. But this is how they really feel about you. And this goes with this Four of Wands card, the joy and stability. Like they not only love you, they value you. They understand how much you add to their lives. And being without you is a major loss for them. You know, they feel like there's something missing. You know, when there's a treasure, when you have a treasure and you lose it, you want to find it. You want to get it back. And so that's where they are. So what are they being led to do? Like, what is Spirit leading them to do at this time to move through this and to help them come forward? So, you know, Spirit is telling them to listen. They're being guided to really connect and listen to their intuition right now. And I'm hearing they're being guided to practice listening to other people, because it's in the not listening where they're missing what it is that's really being said to them, and that kind of throws them into this, you know, unconscious reactive state, because instead of listening to what's currently being said, they're listening to their thoughts of the past and their fears and whatnot. So they're being guided to really get in tune with Spirit in a way. Like, they may even be meditating a lot right now, praying a lot, or just spending a lot of quiet time alone. And, you know, that showed up with the Hermit card that we have there. But they're being guided to just sit with their thoughts and really analyze them from a place of an observer, not attaching to them, but just really seeing what it is that comes up and noticing their automatic response to it, so that they can transmute and dissolve them into the light. So I think that, and that's what's, you know, contributing to their healing, because they're starting to be able to see themselves and their responses, their reactions in a way that they've never been able to before. And that's a major download for them. So with this reading, I would say, you know, don't be surprised if you get that phone call out the blue where this person has done like total 180 and just has so much more insight into who they are and how that played into the connection. You know, I really wouldn't be surprised if for those of you who chose this reading, that happens for. And I really, really hope that that happens if it hasn't happened already, because they need this in order to free their own spirit, because they've been kind of living in bondage around this. You know, it sucks when you have something that you really want to express, and you haven't been able to express it. And then, you know, when you get that download that makes it clear, not only that you need to express it, but how to go about doing it. You're more clearer now about what was preventing you from doing it. And now you know, better understand what it is that needs to be said and what needs to be cleared out. It's a major release. So I feel like they'll be coming toward you, if for no other reason, of course, you know, to reconnect with you and whatnot. We definitely have that present. They still love you and all of that. But this is like vital to their own soul's growth. This is something that they really need to do for themselves, first and foremost. So that's your reading. I hope that resonated with you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know how this sat with you. And if, you know, you are getting communication, if this starts to show up for you, I'd love to hear about that too. I am also offering private readings for those of you who want to go a little bit deeper. You can check me out or check out how to go about that in the description box. And other than that, we will talk again soon. And now let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3. We are at number 3. For those of you who chose number 3, forgiveness is at the heart of the downloads being received by your person at this time. The message of this card says, stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. So what I'm getting from this is this person is very much ready to move forward. They're kind of done with the past, what happened, what didn't happen, what should have happened, the coulda, woulda, shouldas. They're ready to move beyond that. And the downloads that they are receiving at this time are pushing them closer to that or into that. So let's look at what the main downloads they've been receiving are and how that plays into this theme of forgiveness. So we have lead. This person has really been working to take charge of what they allow to affect them. And I just saw the Lover's card at the bottom of the deck. And look at that. We have 2 of Cups. You know, they're understanding that in order for this relationship that has weighed so heavy on their hearts, in order for it to truly come together, they're going to have to take the lead in love, and in loving, they have to forgive. They're understanding that this is much more important than them holding on to any past hurt or pain or anything that happened in the past, anything that, you know, any need for control or being right. You know, they want to move beyond all that because it's kept them in this spiral, this circle, and it's like, you know, the dog running around chasing its tail. They'll never catch it. But when they move into this place of just being with the connection in the sense of how it makes them feel, how good it makes them feel, and everything that was good about it, they open up, you know. And I feel like this person has been spending a lot of time thinking about this, going round and round about it, and they just keep coming back to this fact that, you know, yeah, those things happened, but like, I really want to be with this person, you know. And Two of Cups here, Lover's card here. This is like major spiritual connection. I'm not in the business of telling people they are twin flames. They're not twin flames. They are, you know, soulmate, whatever you want to call it. I believe that only you can determine that for yourself. But in the readings that I do, when I see these cards, particularly together, and like the Ten of Cups, then that suggests to me that, you know, this is like very high level spiritual connection, based in unconditional love. And unconditional love is all about, you know, forgiveness and moving past things that would come between you, by any means necessary. And so I feel like the major download here is this person is understanding that they really have to take responsibility for their part in making that happen. And how they do that is, you know, the first step for them is just forgiving. So let's get some clarifying cards here from the tarot. I'm using my Shadowscapes Tarot, which I think is so pretty, as the clarifiers here. All of the messages today have been about healing and forgiveness. And, you know, that's what I've been picking up on energetically throughout the connections. I mean, throughout the collective. We've learned a lot about ourselves, and we've learned how to love ourselves more and how to love other people more. You know, that's been the major theme. And how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? You know, when we start coming in or being in tune with ourselves in this way, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You know, so I hope that this is providing not only clarity, but healing for you, because when things aren't necessarily showing up in our outer world, it's easy to become discouraged and to doubt. But, you know, these shifts have to take place on an energetic level, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, before they can show up on a physical level. You know, we have to do the inner work. And so I hope that it's I hope that seeing that your person is doing their own inner work inspires you in some way, gives you that encouragement to move forward. Yeah. So we have the High Priestess, the Three of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. They've gotten really clear that their pain has been holding them back. And intuitively, they knew it, but they weren't doing anything about it. You know, the High Priestess is all about knowing, inner knowing, intuition. It's all about our subconscious, you know, and subconsciously they had been allowing their broken heart, you know, the feelings of, you know, being let down, betrayed, backstabbed, left behind. They had been allowing that to kind of rule how they were being in the connection. And they may not have been vocal about that. You know, they may have kept it really quiet, kind of grieving within themselves. And going through that pain may have been a necessary part of their own growth and development. But now that they've done so, they're ready to come out of it. They got to the point where they understood there was, you know, they couldn't pour any more grief into this situation. You know, it got to the point where, like my mom would always say, you either have to shit or get off the pot. And they understood that, you know, sitting on this pot of pain was getting them absolutely nowhere. And in the meantime, yeah, they were sitting in that pot of pain, stewing in it, but the love, this connection wasn't diminishing. It wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't going away, you know. So it's like, if you really are, you know, in this much pain and this person like treated you so badly, you know, why am I still loving this person so much? And I'm not picking up on a lot of codependency or, you know, narcissistic tendencies here in this connection. So I'm inclined to say it's because, you know, this person may just have had a hard time letting things go, you know, because this is the Emperor, and the Emperor can be stubborn. The Emperor can be difficult the Emperor can be very set in their ways. And so if they told themselves, I'm going to feel this way, then, you know, the Emperor tends to commit to things. But after a while, it became apparent that, you know what, I'm kind of stewing in this. And in the meantime, I'm missing out on the love and the peace and the joy that was so much a part of the relationship I have with this person, and so much bigger than this, you know, pain that I've been allowing myself to stew in for so long. So let's look at how the universe, how spirit has been working with them to kind of get them into this place of forgiveness. Yep. So they've had to surrender and just, you know, let things be exactly how they are. They've had to accept the situation for what it is. What happened, happened. They've had to accept that it hurt, and also accept the fact that in spite of all that, they still love you. Like, their feelings about you have not changed. And like I said, That's not the way they're used to operating. The way that this person is used to operating, the way they've operated in the past is once you hurt them, cut the cord, keep it moving. I'm out of here. I don't deal with that. But they have not been able to do that in this situation. And that's actually what's contributed to or compounded their grief, because they want to just be able to move on and, you know, not give two fucks and, you know, never think about you again. But they haven't been able to do that. And it's because of the fact that, you know, this isn't the kind of connection that you can just cut the cord and keep it moving. Like, you guys are very much a part of each other at, you know, a soul level. And so they had to go through this process to release their fear around that, because, you know, they've never experienced anything like this before. No one has ever made them feel the way that you make them feel. And so they really have had to learn to trust in a way that they've never trusted before, probably. And so how does that have them viewing the connection? Like, what have they learned about the connection? Okay, that's too many. What did I just say? Yeah, they're understanding that this is not something that, you know, is logical or something they're going to be able to plot or plan out. They really have to trust and, like, go with the flow, go with the emotions, and deal with things as it comes up. Like, and we have reconciliation and deception, and they have to release this idea that, you know, they're being tricked or deceived in some way, or that they can't trust you. They really have to let go of that, and they see that now, and, you know, they want to come back together with you. They understand now that you know, whatever it is that happened, they understand their response to it was one of, like, past conditioning. It wasn't really rooted in how they felt about you. It was more so rooted in things that have happened to them in the past and how they felt they had to respond in order to protect themselves. And they don't want to operate in that way with you anymore. They want to come back together with you because they've opened themselves up in a way that is more trusting. They want to, like, explore, like, what you were bringing to them in this relationship, how open you were with them, how trusting you were of them. They never had experienced that before. And it caused them to be kind of on guard. Like, yo, is this really real? Like, could this person really be that cool? Like, I don't know about that. Like, there must be a catch here. And there's really no catch. And they are understanding that now on a more spiritual level, and they're also understanding how much trickery and how much of an illusion it was they were holding, that, you know, that in believing that, you know, this unconditional love that you have for them actually wasn't possible or couldn't exist, like it was too good to be true. I just think this is absolutely beautiful. You know, I do a lot of readings, and I'm just picking up on very high vibrational energy. Like, all I can say is thank you, Spirit. Like, Spirit is working with all of us right now to just, like, move through our shit. And you know, it can I just get on my soapbox here? It just makes absolutely no sense that these beautiful connections are not taking place because of our old unconscious programming. So it just warms my heart to see this inner work being done so that they can come so that we all can come into union with the people that we love. Okay. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and fish for that card, but I will go get it. Let's get one more card. I mean, that card just now just flew like across the room, so I'm gonna have to go and grab it. Okay. Oh, wow. I just said it. Union. Oh my God. To me, I mean, we have the Two of Cups here, which came out as part of the major download. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. So I just went and grabbed the card that flew across the room. Opportunity to forgive. Spirit is showing, and then we have the wedding card, which goes with the Two of Cups. The coming together card is the Two of Cups in the traditional tarot. It says, this situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. They're being divinely led in this, guys. Like they may not even totally understand. It's like they just woke up and it's like, you know, fuck, I really love this person. Like I'm ready to just put this shit behind us, and you know, I hope they are too. And then we have the wedding card. It says, marriage is the union of two souls joined in love, mutual respect, and commitment. It signifies a desire to deepen love over time. Your wedding day is a testament to your well-founded faith and love's power. Continually breathe life into that faith and love. So, I mean, for some of you, this literally means your person is clear that, you know, they want to not only just be with you, but they want to be in a marriage with you, in a, you know, in a traditional, like, married union with you. For others of you, that means your person is clear that they want to merge with you. They want to come into union with you. They want to, you know, of course, reconcile the relationship, get back with you, and be in relationship with you, whatever that looks like. But I just think, I mean, I don't even know what else to say here that is so clear about what they are being guided to do, what's going on in their heart of hearts. And I just think that is a beautiful, beautiful reading for you. And I'm so glad you tuned in and that I was able to deliver this message to you. So thank you so much for tuning in. This has been an absolute pleasure. I hope this has resonated with you. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to do a private reading with me, I have those available. And just thank you for being here. I truly, truly appreciate you. Peace.